John Zogby, the man, is on right now. Good morning, John. Happy holidays.
Hey, happy holidays to you too.
Did you expect to get this announcement this weekend with Richard Hanna?
I never knew. There were times that I figured he would.
Yeah.
That he served an extra 2 years, and then other times I knew that he was working well down there. But I'm pleased. I think he should hold his head proud. He served very, very well, and 6 years. Would that everybody got that message.
Yeah, it is interesting that the one thing that you can't say and has been said about him and is completely wrong is that he got caught up into voting the way that he was told to vote or following the big money. None of that is true. This guy voted his conscience, whether it was good for him politically or not.
That's correct. This is an independent district. You can't paint this as inherently Republican. It's a moderate independent district. It's been written that way, and so Richard expressed our sentiments perfectly. But then he brought his own persona down to D.C. And I can tell you, everybody liked him, even when he was unpredictable.
Right.
The Republican leadership liked him. The Democrats loved him.
Tell me, I'm going to throw out some names. Do you know anything about this Catherine Bertini? She's in Cortland and believes to be she's related to her family, runs and operates Dick's Sporting Goods.
I don't know anything.
A lot of money there. Also, Mike Backus, who's the former GOP chair in Oswego County.
We're going to hear a lot of names we haven't heard before.
Yeah.
I've heard his name on the periphery. That's all.
Well, so let's talk about the ones that we know. Your thoughts. Now, I have four here that have been mentioned as real possibilities. A few moments ago, we just spoke with Senator Joe Griffo. He's never lost an election.
No, he hasn't. He's well liked. He's seasoned. He's been an executive. The only drawback is that Joe's heading stronger into the leadership in Albany. And maybe even higher up in Albany because there's a leadership vacuum in the Senate.
Yeah.
So, very seasoned guy and a guy who does win elections, absolutely.
Assemblywoman Claudia Tenney, of course, she's been quite controversial, and some say that she would have beaten Richard Hanna this year in the primary.
Yeah, I've heard talk of that, mainly because the year that it's turning out to be.
Yeah.
I have always kind of doubted it, though I think that she had her day in the sun a couple of years ago, and that this may not be. This may be another big Democratic year, depending on what happens with the GOP nationally.
Can Claudia beat? So they have a couple of others: Brindisi, Pacenti, and Ray Meyer. Can Claudia Tenney win in this primary?
Yeah, she could, but I give her odds at slightly less than 50-50. Remember, Oneida County is the single biggest county in the entire district, and the rest are big vote getters in Oneida County, plus well-known family names in Oneida County. So it in many ways drives the area. Tony Pacenti, always heard talk about Tony moving up. Frankly, I don't know that going to Congress is a move up. This is a great time to be a county executive, I would say. But if Tony runs, I think he'd be very formidable. Anthony Brindisi, of course, is the face to watch. He as a Democrat, no drawbacks there. He's young enough in the assembly that he doesn't have to worry about jeopardizing any kind of leadership post. Very, very well liked, and generally, I have found Anthony to be the smartest guy in the room whenever I've talked to him.
A bit of an up-and-coming star, right? I mean, you see him as that. How about the other name that's being thrown around there is a former county executive himself, Ray Meyer.
Ray Meyer, remember, did very well when he ran the first time. Ray could be very appealing to the conservative wing of the party, but at the same time, because he's been county executive and a very successful state senator and before that county legislator, he knows a lot of people. He also is very good on the stump. Ray is a genuinely engaging, funny, as well as smart guy. These are good candidates.
Yeah. He's also, Ray would probably be the most conservative outside of Assemblywoman Tenney.
Yeah, he would be, but he also doesn't wear his ideology on his sleeve.
Right. Good point. And my question on the district, when it was the 24th, it was maybe a little more moderate. Is this more Republican, a little more leaning right? Will that make it difficult for Brindisi? What are your thoughts on the current district?
More leaning right, but no, not difficult. Anthony, any of these folks, but Anthony in particular is so good on the stump, has a very good record, not only winning elections, he was on the school board as well. And it is Oneida County. These are all big vote getters in Oneida County.
One more final question here on the Rehmeyer versus Assemblywoman Tenney. It's thought that Tenney probably has a pretty good shot at the conservative endorsement, although I'm sure everybody else would probably Griffo would contest that. But on the conservative side, however, if Rehmeyer were to enter this race, he may get the conservative nod. He has a lot of ties to the Conservative Party.
He has. He's always gotten it in the past, and they may do an assessment of things and determine whether or not they want to win and who best represents the sentiment of this region.
Yeah.
Claudia has won elections, no doubt. She's also lost quite a few. And if you look at the history of this district and kind of all its formations, the ultra-conservative candidate has come close at times in a GOP primary, but never won it.
Got it. And finally, do you think Donald Trump made? He certainly, he can't seem to cross any line. But the comments about Hillary going to the bathroom and, not overly presidential. But what are your thoughts?
There's a new outrage every couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm tired of saying when he drops out.
Yeah.
So I just don't know. I mean, his voters really, really love him. The real question is, when is the GOP going to get into a real race where they have an establishment candidate, a Tea Party candidate, and Donald Trump?
Interesting stuff. John Zogby, have a wonderful holiday at ZogbyAnalytics.com, and we appreciate you coming on with us this year.
Good to talk to you.
All right. John Zogby.
Bye-bye.